as possible regarding what I just covered on my show, and to make sure that we platform this, because it is just so obvious that there is a pedophile ring in Hollywood. And it is obvious in the fact that anybody who speaks out about it gets kicked out of Hollywood. And it is about to become even more obvious because we now have a blatant act of pedophilia that has taken place. And you're going to see that a lot of celebrities who like to use their platforms to condemn everything that sounds like hate speech, right, are going to be quiet. So let me give you an update in case you are not aware of what has happened with Balenciaga. Now, you may know Balenciaga. It's a huge brand. Kim Kardashian is one of the faces of it. In fact, if you go to her profile right now, she has dripped herself in their new campaign. Balenciaga and Adidas are teaming up. They want nothing to do with Ye. Neither does she. Perfect brands for all of them to unite and to sell some products. Who cares? Whatever. Ye has in the past talked about the fact that he thinks that his children are being sexualized in Hollywood. He thinks that it's wrong that his 9-year-old daughter is allowed to be on TikTok and have millions of followers, knowing that there's perverts on the internet. Whatever. We know that everyone calls him crazy for saying that, talking about the overt sexualization that is taking place and the child exploitation that is taking place in Hollywood. They keep telling you that he is crazy, okay? Kim has basically allowed this narrative to go on. She has alleged that he has bipolar disorder. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's lying, that it's fine for her daughter to be on Instagram. We also know that Kim K herself has engaged in pornography to buy herself access into Hollywood. Her and her mother colluded and had made a sex tape. So we know that she is compromised as it is. But whatever. The relationship fell apart. Who cares? The whole world wants to cancel Ye. Who cares? I decided I want to stand by him as a friend because I know that he is talking about important things like child exploitation in Hollywood, and we do need to have a conversation about that. So here's what happened with Balenciaga. Balenciaga recently released their ad for their next campaign, okay? In the ad, they have very young children. You can go to their website, and they probably have already taken it down. I will share that stuff on my platform as much as I can during my stories. They have very young children that are looking up with innocent eyes, and they're holding teddy bears, Balenciaga teddy bears that are draped in BDSM. The teddy bears are wearing BDSM leather products, okay? And the kids are holding them looking very innocent, obviously trying to almost look like children that are in captivity. It's very weird. It's very bizarre. But you might be thinking, oh, what's wrong is the people that are even thinking that. Who cares if a child is holding a bear and the bear is doing a little BDSM? Wait for this, okay? Then they shot another photo from the campaign, and the same exact campaign, and there is a Balenciaga purse, and under the purse, there's a lot of papers. When you zoom in to the papers, what you will see is it is a Supreme Court decision. The Supreme Court decision was Ashcroft versus the Freedom of Speech Coalition, the Freedom Coalition for Speech, right? That was a decision that the Supreme Court struck down certain aspects of virtual child pornography, okay? So essentially, they are putting these papers that was the Supreme Court decision to strike down certain laws pertaining to virtual child pornography under the purse. So there is no confusion where they stand. They are happy that the Supreme Court decided to get rid of virtual child pornography laws, which now allows them to have these children that are holding these bears that are in BDSM poses. I am so disgusted. I can't even, I am angry. I want to be shrieking. Like I said, I'm trying to stay calm in this. We have been talking about what is so obviously happening, which is child grooming in our society. People that are talking about children's genitals, trying to pretend that it's love to get them to change their genders. It's obviously what I have said for years. It's going to usher in pedophilia. You now have Balenciaga, one of the loudest brands in the world, biggest brands in the world, loudest brands in the world, with a fleet of A-list celebrities, okay, that stand behind them. This is the same Balenciaga that just dropped Ye for being anti-Semitic, okay? And they are now putting on display child pornography. Now, because Tucker Carlson did a segment on this and drummed up a response to this, they have now issued a statement saying that they should have never featured the children in the campaign. That's it. We should have never featured the children. Forget the fact that we have papers celebrating child pornography under the purses, but we got caught, so oopsie, we're sorry. Now, here's what I know to be true. Kim Kardashian, girl, I just know you are going to find that same energy that you and your sister Chloe found to write a tweet against your husband, condemning anti-Semitism and all of its forms, that copy and pasted rhetoric that you meant nothing when you even pasted it. But I know that since you found that energy to condemn that anti-Semitism, that you are going to find that same energy, that same exact effing energy to stand up and to condemn Balenciaga. Because girl, we know that you are desperate for fame. You sold your own body for it. We know that all you ever wanted in your life was to be invited to Balenciaga parties and to be invited to places that Anna Wintour are. But we know that at the same time, you are going to find a little bit of whatever soul you have left to take a strong stance against child pornography and pedophilia, to take a powerful stance by saying that you will no longer rep this brand. It's that easy. A tweet will suffice. In fact, let me help with the language. I condemn child pornography and all of its forms, and I will no longer associate myself with Balenciaga, which just tried to pull the wool over society's eyes by essentially saying that they are happy that laws were struck down against the Child Pornography Prevention Act, because that's what Ashcroft's decision was. The Child Pornography Prevention Act removed parts of the guts of that law, the Prevention Act, which prevented virtual child pornography. So I know you are just looking for the right words, and that your silence and your recent posts dripped in that exact same campaign is really you just sitting back trying to find the effing right words to say that you will have nothing to do with this brand. Because otherwise, Kimmy girl, if you don't find that same effing energy that you found for Ye, the father of your children, to condemn him, to support your friends, I think you said, I stand with my friends in the Jewish community. Why don't we try a tweet that says, I stand with children all over the world that are being sex trafficked. I stand with every parent that has had to go through the trauma of having their children sexually trafficked or sexually abused. Use that same energy, Kimmy, and put up a post and be done with Balenciaga. And then I want you to re-examine yourself, okay? Because we know what you're doing. We know that you will say whatever it takes. You will do whatever it takes to maintain your fame. I want you to re-examine what it is that your ex-husband has been saying about what he believes his children are being exposed to. Because the fact that you are a part of this campaign, okay, this huge Balenciaga campaign, and maybe you didn't know, I'm not going to put it on you, but you sure as hell have known in the last 48 hours what's going on. And I think, as the left likes to say, your silence is deafening. You guys are sick, twisted perverts in Hollywood. But Kimmy,
literally another one. Why does the doll have that on? Like, what was the point? And the way all these gift shop items are like displayed on the table, like we've seen in adult things when they display their toys and stuff, like, come on, like, common sense. They are playing in people's faces, and why are they using children? And then this was interesting too, because this man right here on the site has a key in his hand, a Balenciaga key. And, you know, one might think, well, maybe there's a lock somewhere on that gym bag, right? No locks here. Not on the side, from any angle. But remember who does have a lock? The bears that are with the children. Like, come on. It does not take, come on. If it's fake, why is it real? Like, you can say I'm reaching all you want, but come on.
Call hello Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who teach and rule well. Salutations to you brothers in the highways and byways. Salutations also goes out to you brothers and few sisters tuning in, listening, and learning. I'm the brother Malak from the Diligent Soldier Camp here in Boston, Mass. And as always, I pray this lesson be edifying to the elect. The name of this one is Esau is profane in all his ways. Esau, the white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, is profane in all his ways. Okay, and as of late, you got a company called, or by the name of Balenciaga, that have put out some controversial images of children. Okay, and you know, people, the masses are pissed off, man. You know, I wouldn't say the masses, but people are definitely pissed off that this man and these people are doing so, right? You just saw this individual. I think her name is Candace Owens, if I'm not mistaken, who's friends with Kanye West, aka Ye. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of the chick, but she made a lot of good, valid points on the things she was saying. One of them being the fact that Balenciaga dropped Ye for so-called anti-Semitic rhetoric, or what they call rhetoric. But then in the same, the same time frame, within, a week or two after all this, well, maybe the whole thing with Ye happened maybe already a good 2-3 weeks ago, maybe even more. I'm not 100% sure, but it's very recent. The fact remains though that they dropped this man for making these so-called anti-Semitic comments and things like that and that of that nature, and have the nerve then to partner up with Adidas, which is the former partner, employer, whatever you want to call it, of Ye, right? And they go on to it goes on to displaying these images and exploiting children in a hypersexual, immoral, man, what is it they call it, man? They call it like not so much a photo shoot, but it's this new stock of clothes that they're dropping, I guess now in the fall or for the winter, and basically, man, they have these children up there, as you can see in the image, man, with bears, with stuffed toys, right? Teddy bears, so-called teddy bears or whatever, man. And these BDSM, however they call it, man, that crazy shit that they do, and with basically like chokers on and locks on, and very explicit clothing, right? Well, it's not so much clothing, it's all leather and shit, and they're into that bondage thing. But nonetheless, they put children there, man. They have children posing, and you could see the faces of the children. They look, like they're not with it, but that's Esau for you, man. He will use his own kids, man, too, and that's at the book of Ecclesiasticus. I forget now, but me and the brother Lahab always tend to bring it out. He who does evil to himself, to who shall he do good, man? This man throws his own people under the bus, uses his own people, you know what I'm saying? Cuts a bigger piece of the cake for him, a way bigger piece for himself, and leave the crumbs to his own, man, and by him I mean the elites of Esau, man, the tribe of Amalek, right? Now, as she was saying, man, a lot of celebrities were very vocal about the whole situation with Ye and the things that he was saying, because at the end of the day, there were contracts, man. They have no souls, in the sense that they believe that they don't own it anymore, though we know who the Father Spirit is, right? But nonetheless, they feel that they have to come and aid these people, right? And sometimes they just get the call from said people, those Amalekites, man, those 1948ers, those small hats, those big noses, those rats, and these people could call on these celebrities, and these celebrities would come, in all fours, man, ready to say and do whatever for massa, man, right? And she made a good point about saying that they're gonna be quiet on this one, but in particular, since both actually, yeah, now I'm realizing both of these brands, Adidas and Balenciaga, both employed or contracted Kanye, right? They dropped him and now are colluding together, are together, partnering up to basically save each other's asses, man, because Balenciaga makes over $2 billion a year in sales. and it's ran by a parent company called Kering, if I'm not mistaken, out there in London, and it's all Edomites, man. You know, it was even started by an Edomite, Spaniard Edomite, man. But nonetheless, you know, Adidas also is in it. As you can see, there was a guy, a Jake. On top of that, they got a Jake with like this key, and he has it on his finger, you know, but he has no locks around him. But then when you look at the images with the children, they have like these locks around their necks, the stuffed bears that they have. So it's very suggestive, I think is what the word, how you say the word. Just complete madness, man. Just wrong in all levels, man. Here it is. These children are, you know, I want to say a little older than, they're toddlers. Well, not maybe toddlers. They're a little older, man. They look like they're around 5, 6, 7 years old, maybe. You know, but that's Esau, man. Because when you check his track record, man, it's nothing but death. It's nothing but rape and stealing and a lot of fucking pedophilia, man, with small children, man, with very young children. You know, because here it is. They'll call the apostles and the men, starting with the apostles on down, right? Because we all push the same thing, right? We all speak the same thing as the scripture says to do so. And one of those things is the protocol for when rape occurs, man. All right, when that word goes into to take, man. You know, our pockets is rape. I mean, pockets of the people that go and buy $500, $1,000 shoes from Balenciaga, their pockets get raped. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, man, these men have been getting attacked, been getting called rapists and all types of shit with no type of proof, no type of paperwork stating that they ever been locked up for said allegations, man. And you know, but it be those same people that won't even say or do anything about what's going on right now, man. You know, they won't make even a lesson regarding what this man Esau is doing, man, because a lot of Jakes, you know, even in the truth, are wearing these brands, man. You know, and they wear those brands, man, because they're slaves to those brands. You know, those brands are their idols. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I personally know people. I got family that own Balenciaga items, man, and they're very proud and happy, you know, for having those ugly ass shoes and shit. But whatever, you know, to each their own. But this should show you that these people are wrong, man. You know, here it is. They like I was saying, they'll call the apostles and all these men, and from the apostles on down, rapists and all these fucked up names. But you know, in the scripture speaks about all these things, man. And it tells you that a man wasn't supposed to deal with a woman, with the woman, man, with a female until she doesn't pass the flower of her age, man, which is her menstrual cycle, right? After she starts getting her menstrual monthly, right? And you know, you look at the you read into the not the movie, but like the book of the 300 and all these other Roman history facts, man, and these men, these soldiers were messing with children, man. Not 300, right? Because those were Jakes, but the Romans, man. The Romans have a track record of not even dealing with their women, because they will call their women unclean, right, dirty, and they'll go mess with little boys, man. You know, and the Edomites that run the Roman Catholic Church, they're into that shit. You know, Hollywood, as she was saying, has a big thirst for children. You know, you got also like ex-celebrities and even celebrities that speak about it, which should have been a big red flag to a lot of people, but it isn't, because it's just you know, they find it to be normal, or just people just talking shit because they didn't have a good deal. They're just, you know, they're flopping or whatever, you know. But these things are happening, man. You know, she mentioned Kim a lot, and that'll be interesting to see if she's actually gonna say something, man. But when you read the comments, man, you know, people are like, that bitch is not coming out because she's like a A-lister with those, and she's like in cahoots with them. So she's in it, man. She won't be able to say anything, man. You know, and also, you know, Kris Jenner, it's known that Kris Jenner is pimping those daughters of her, man, those witches, you know. So that's nothing new or even hidden, man, you know. And Kanye, you know, trying to be a good father by not wanting his children to be exploited in these social medias where there are fucking freaks, you know what I'm saying? You know, he gets called and labeled and demonized as someone crazy, man, which is bugged out. But at the same time, it makes sense why Esau will do that, right? But you know, who's to say that those children, you know, I don't know if her name is North or Northwest or whatever the fucking crazy ass name these children got, but you know, who's to say that these children are not being sexualized and molested and whatnot, man? Because their grandmother did it so for their parent, for their mom and and aunts, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of you know, weirdo shit going on in Hollywood. And this thing coming out, man, you know, they test the waters, man. They Esau works in gradualism, so he'll throw a little something out there, see how the people will react, and if they get like a negative reaction, they'll go on and to, you know, protocol and say that they're gonna fire whoever dressed the set, yeah, and they take down the pictures and put up new pictures as if they already had it on, you know what I'm saying, on deck, because it only took them a few hours. And we know photo shoots sometimes takes a day, 2 days sometimes, right, to nail the perfect shots, because they'll take a whole bunch and sift through it and see what they're gonna go with, man. But nonetheless, I'm talking a lot. Let me just bring out a few scriptures, man. You're just proving that this man Esau is just, you know, doing exactly, first of all, doing what the Lord designed him to do, right? And also he's the devil, man. So he's sought out and found, man, in the scriptures, man, and found by us, because we were able to tie him in with the scriptures and know exactly who this man is and why he's so crooked, man. Okay, so let me just look up let's go to Hebrews chapter 12 verse 16, because it's where you know, this the title Esau is profane in all his ways was actually inspired by this scripture, you know. But first and foremost, you know, the water Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for inspiring me to you know, to bring this short little lesson out, man. So this is Hebrews chapter 12 verse 16. It reads, "Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright." Now, let me just go real quick to the Blue Letter Bible real quick. So yeah, it says, Hebrews 12 again, verse 16. "Lest there be any fornicator." Now let's get that word fornicator real quick. All right, to get more context, man. You know, that word fornicator is G4205 pornos, which is where you get porno from, right? Or pornography. And the outline biblical usage goes into a man who prostitutes his body to another's lust for hire, a male prostitute. A man who indulges in unlawful sexual intercourse is a fornicator, right? The etymology word is piprasco, and it goes on to sell, of price, one into slavery, of the master of whom one is sold as a slave. Metaphor, sold under sin, entirely under the control of the love of sinning. One, of bribed, to give himself up wholly to another's will, right? So basically the outline biblical usage that comes out here is like a male prostitute, man, right? One who prostitutes himself. But you could also fornicate spiritually, man, when you defile yourself with different philosophies and whatnot, man. But you know, this goes into this man, because if you know, a lot of these people that are into the BDSM or whatever, a lot of the people that are into that, they pay for these services, man. You got I think they call them dominatrix, you know. both male and female dominatrix, and people pay for those services, man, to get, basically bound and whipped and all types of wild shit, you know what I'm saying? Because Esau's never satisfied, man. He gotta push the envelope all the time, man. Even when it comes to sex, man. Here it is, this man can't just lay with a woman and that's it. He has to do all types of weird shit, suffocated and slapped and pinched, and I think, man, they even like hang you from different, from like through your skin. They got like these hooks or these pinchers or whatever, man. It's crazy, man. It's some wild shit that Esau's into, man. The next scripture I want to bring, well, actually, it says fornicator, and then it goes into profane, right? So let's go look up profane real quick. This app just kicked me out. Profane. Boo, boo, boo. Salaki, bear with me. Profane is G952. Bebelos. It goes into accessible, lawful, to be trodden of place, profane, unhallowed, common, public place of men, ungodly. So ungodly men in public places, unhallowed, meaning not set apart, man. Esau's into all types of shit that he's invented and other nations have came up with too. The man is in it, man. Etymology, let me see his basis. A stepping, walking, that with which one steps the foot. No, that's not what I'm looking for. But basically, yeah, man. Esau is a dirty motherfucker, man. He's a fornicator. And he's very profane, man. And so much so that he sold his own birthright for a little morsel of meat, man. He came in so hungry that he asked Jacob, to give him whatever he was cooking. The shit, it wasn't even done. Our forefather, being the supplanter that he is, asked him to sell his birthright because Jacob knew the value of the birthright. And Esau might have known it too and just didn't give a fuck. That's why the scripture says that he was no one more, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, man. Who sold his own birthright for a morsel of meat, man. This man is awful, man, for lack of other words, man. And he's made that way, man. He was made this way, man. So now let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 13. Consider the work of God, for who can make that straight? Salakia. Consider the work of God, for who can make that straight, which he had made crooked, right? This man was made crooked, as the scripture says. The soul that is in him is not straight, if I'm not mistaken, roughly paraphrasing, man. There's lots of scriptures that air this man out, man, and lets you know and emphasizes on how the Lord made him this way, man. It's basically like a game. It's the analogy that I always use. Here it is, you're a game programmer, right? A person that makes games or whatever. You make two games, a really cool games with all type of cool stuff to do in it, and then you have one that's just like very whack, man, right? That one game, you can't do nothing to it to make it better, man. You would have to basically destroy it and make it all over, right? So Esau was made to be the crooked, man, to be the wicked, right? And all his people, his offspring, man. Right? The Lord made him this way, man. Ecclesiastes 7:13 again. Consider the work of God, for who can make that straight, which he hath made crooked. So the point is, who can make him straight, man? This man is being aired out on all over social media because of that, and all he does is take it off and put some other pictures and stuff, but you can still see key things. Like there was a book by Michael Borman, I think his name is, man, and this man, if I'm not mistaken, he's not only a book writer, right? He's not only a writer, but he's also into like paintings. Or the point is, in his books, he has like children, butt ass naked paintings of children, right? Not pictures, but paintings and portraits of children butt naked with like red, you know, it look like it has blood on them or whatever, doing things with like body parts, man, like literally like picking up a whole leg that's detached from the rest of the body, right? And it's just crazy, man. You look him up, Michael Borman, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. And in the video, if you go back in the video, you'll be able to see it, you know, because they took everything out, but they left that book back there, and the paperwork, you can still see it under the purses. Under the purse, it's just not shot from like a bird's eye view. It's shot from the side, but you can still see that it's the same paperwork, you know. I mean, I tried zooming in, so I can't prove that, but it looks like it's the same setup. They just switched it up, switched the angles up and stuff, you know. But let's get a quick precept, man, to Ecclesiastes. It's also in the book of Ecclesiastes, but in the first chapter 1, verse 15. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. Okay, so this man cannot be changed, man. You know what I mean? Just like the scripture says, we would have healed Babylon, you know, but she's not healed. She can't be healed, man. The Lord designed this bitch to be the way she is, you know, undignified, a whore, you know, and the nest for all types of filthy animals, man, you know, and philosophies and wickedness, man, you know, in the whole world, all the nations have drunk of her philosophy, man, have drunk of her wine, which that word wine goes into the philosophies, man, of that of Babylon, man. You know, the Babylon, not so much the trendsetter, man, but she's a very big negative influence, man, on the rest of the planet, man, and the other nations. But being that she's the head, the nations follow, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll end it off with this last scripture. This is the book of Colossians chapter 3, verse 5. Now, this is basically a commandment, man, if you will, right? But there's a quick point that I wanted to make in there. It says, Colossians chapter 3, verse 5. Mortify therefore your members, okay, which are upon the earth. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth: fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affections, evil sorry, I always mispronounce this. Evil concupiscence. Oh man, that sounds bad, but I don't know how to pronounce that. Salakia. And covetousness, which is idolatry. But my point is this one, right? Inordinate affection. Now let's go to the blue letter real quick to get that. Colossians 3 and 5. Oh man, I hate when this thing freezes up. 3 verse 5. And let's go into inordinate affections. Because that BDSM, whatever that shit is, it's inordinate affection, man. Because a lot of people that practice that too are in the alphabet gang, right? Where are you? Cleanliness, inordinate affections. And that's G3806, pathos, right? And it goes, whatever your outline of biblical usages, and it's a few of them. It says, whatever befalls one, whether it be sad or joyous, a calamity, mishap, evil, affliction, a feeling which the mind suffers, an effort of the mind, emotion, passion, passionate deed, used by the Greeks in either a good or bad sense. In the New Testament, in a bad sense, depraved passion, vile passions. So basically, having a vile passion, right? The scripture says that the Lord gave him up to inordinate spirits, I think it is. But basically, the Lord gave him up to their own lust. You know, man with man working that which is unseemly. Right? And this is exactly what Esau does, man. all right? And he's pushing and sexualizing children. Not only sexualizing children, because those children right there were probably sexualized, molested, or whatnot, but at the same time, he's trying to normalize this thing, man. You know, he's tried it a few times. I think it was in the New York Post. They had said something similar, or something along the lines of like trying to normalizing pedophilia. You know, they calling them man lovers, or no, what is it? Children man lovers. There's an acronym that's being used and even being pushed by some teachers that got in trouble. But basically, you know, Esau's trying to make that a regular, normal thing, man. You know, which is no doubt going to be a part of this end to the WO, man. You know what I'm saying? Or in the end to the WO, when they, you know, when the Lord lets them succeed to a certain extent of it, right? Because the scriptures tell you that why he was gonna fill his belly, man. Why he was gonna take that last spoon, the Lord was gonna basically smack that spoon off his mouth, man. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna be able to enjoy his oh my God, why am I forgetting? Salaki, but he wasn't gonna enjoy his enterprise, the water, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, the water. He wasn't going to enjoy his enterprise, meaning all that he's been working for. But this is something that they would love for it to be in their great reset, as they call it, right? The great refresh, or whatever they call it. Because this man is that messed up, man. You know what? So I hope, you know, I made the point as far as like how disgusting and deprived and inordinate Esau is, and how he's trying to push it to the masses as if it's a normal thing, you know. But the Lord's making this man bear. You know, we know what he's up to. He's been found out. He's that man of perdition, you know, that for the most part, everybody knows of, you know. And he's being called down on this bullshit, man. So I pray that this lesson was edifying to the elect, because it's all about the elect of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. And with that, I want to give all honors and praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem V'Kakodash. I want to give double honors again to the apostles who teach and rule well and continue being great examples to us younger brothers. Shalom and salute, you know, also to the brothers in the highways and byways, and the highways and hedges, making your body a living sacrifice. Salute to you, brothers. Salute also goes out to your brothers and few sisters that tune in to listen, to learn. With that, I want to say shalom.